entertaining. It is pretty fun. Let's see if it's gonna work. I'm gonna do it in English afterwards. It was really good. Let's see if it works. Let's go Google Translate to introduce our players.
Hola y bienvenidos a la estación próxima. Hoy tenemos una batalla entre dos de los mejores jugadores de todo el planeta. Una vez que un muchacho, ahora un hombre. Tenemos el jugador Terran rojo de mi Insanity, es Sonrisa. Su oponente, el ser verde, es PandaBearMe.
Beautiful! I didn't think it was. I thought we'd already got to the smile bit, but apparently we didn't. What the fuck did I write? You guys ready? This is what it said.
Hello and welcome to Proxima Station. Today we have a battle between two of the best players in the entire planet. Once a boy, now a man. We have the red Terran player from My Insanity. It is Smile. His opponent, the green Zerg, is PandaBearMe.
Once a boy, now a man. Amazing, I love it. Oh, great introduction. Do you think we could cast an entire game just with the Google Translate voice? Like, I could just take the day off and just type in what I wanted to say. That'd be so much better than me actually casting. That could be one of the best ways. That'd be one of the best casts ever. Can you imagine doing an entire cast with the Google Translate voice? That'd be so good. I might do that someday. I reckon it'd be really fun. It could be really fun. Guys, fighting for some topics to talk about, but sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I just should come up with my own stuff to talk about rather than just being boring. You know, it's just one of those things. Anyways, we do have Smile bottom left. Once a boy, now a man. and then I didn't know what to write for PandaBearMe, so I was just like, his opponent. It's PandaBearMe. Oh, that's pretty fun though. Man, the Spanish introduction took forever though. I didn't realize it was going to take so long. I can speak a very small amount of Spanish, and I was getting really confused because I knew what I was listening for when they were going to introduce Smile, and it was like, it just wasn't happening. And I just completely forgot that I'd written so much shit before we introduced Smile, so that was pretty exciting. Oh, that was great. That really was great. Once a boy, now a man. I think that might have been my favorite part. Anyways, TVZ, it is gonna be the the final matchup of the day in today's Underdogs, guys. We do have a few Zerglings coming down the low ground. We have a third hatchery coming down in the back of the base here as well. So hatchery coming down over here in the back, and I'm just gonna be seeing the evolution chamber quite early as well from PandaBearMe. Again, the winner of this will advance through to the round of 8 of the competition, joining Cham out of Group NA, Showtime and Harsum from Group EU, and Denver and DNS from Group France. Tomorrow, Group Korea, Bunny, Patience, True, and Hurricane. Should be quite exciting. So, looking forward to that as we see PandaBearMe trying to pick up some info early. Will not find much though. Two Marines will deny this overload before it gets anywhere near to those buildings. So, tonight, some early info. We're going to be seeing a Viking on the way out. Of course, Proxima was the first map between Smile and Cham in that winners match. So that would be that was pretty kind of one-sided towards Cham, but he did go for Smile, that interesting Liberator range build, but it doesn't seem as though he wants to go for the same again. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we would already see a fusion core on the way. And this time, we actually are going to see Stimpack coming on out here. So Stimpack coming in early as we are going to see Smile committing to bio play. PandaBearMe trying to pick up info once again. And actually has a Zergle in the main, so he sees absolutely everything and sees that that's probably not a fake stim. It's been started for a while. There's something actually building out of this starport. So he recognizes that this probably is going to be bio, as we're going to see these Hellions getting caught in the back of this mineral line. They are dropping very, very quickly. And it's only 3 workers killed, so unfortunately the first 4 Hellions don't really find any damage at all. And as we see the Queens, we'll just get back to injecting now. Spinecraw at the front will help to deter any further run-bys. And well, Smart just built up his third base on location. As PandaBearMe should be feeling pretty comfortable about this. Killing the first few Hellions, not really losing that many drones at all. And you're going to be seeing the lair on the way up from PandaBearMe as well. Obviously wants to set up in towards 2-2 upgrades, and well, most likely, considering he's going melee upgrades, most likely into Aspire as well to play that Lingbane Muto. There's the Bane Nest, will line up nicely with the lair finishing to start up Centrifugal Hooks pretty much straight away. That's that Baneling speed upgrade, which allows you to really get those Banelings rolling at a decent pace. As we're going to be seeing the Medivac getting ready to drop in towards the main, and looking to do just a little bit of damage here. So Medivac will drop on in, look to see if he can get some damage done, and I'm just going to be seeing a Queen and a few Zerglings there though to help push this away. So Queen and Fueling is going to be pushing that away right now. Going to be seeing the lair on the way up, and the Zergling +1 melee on the way out as well. So it's all going on as PandaBearMe coming up towards the top side. He's going to be well, chased down by a couple of Hellions here. So a couple of Hellions chasing some Zerglings down. Vikings actually made it all the way to the top side. Going to pick up its second kill of the game. As this Overlord is indeed going to fall. So Overlord goes down here. The Spire is on the way up in the back of the mineral line of the main base. And as we expect from PandaBearMe, he heads in towards this Lingbane Muto playstyle. A little bit of a run by. We'll try and grab an SCV-02. Doesn't grab any at all, unfortunately. Good control out of Smile to fight against that. And a few units in position, obviously helping him out as well, as we see with +1/+1 on the way up. Combat shields as well. Smile really is getting to the point where he more or less has enough to just really boost into this mid-game production, to really start pressuring out on the map, clean up creep, and all the rest of it as well. So here we go. Marines, a couple of Hellions, and these Medivacs too. I mean, they should get on the map. They should start cleaning up this creep right now. PandaBearMe, just completely uncontested, is able to spread this creep forwards as much as he wants to. So creep just spreading on forwards. You're going to see some creep up to the top side as well. Pushing out as well now. And you'll see some Zerglings and Queens just working their way through these rocks. So rocks taking some damage, and we'll go down. And as the rocks fall, we'll just be seeing these again, a few Medivacs around as well, looking to see what else is happening for them. So these Medivacs actually going to boost away to the right hand side, and again +2/+2 on the way up from PandaBearMe. It's been a pretty quiet few moments. PandaBearMe now going in towards his first Mutalisk of the game, so about to get that kind of next kind of wave up for himself. But again, so far we haven't really seen much harassment anyways, as the Lings and Banes will roll on forwards here, and for the most part Smile just going to pick up, leaves his Hellbats on the ground to try and soak up some Baneling connections, but good control by PandaBearMe, not using those Banelings on just the kind of lone Hellbats would have been a little bit of a waste, and make sure he doesn't, make sure that's not going to be what happens basically. As Scan coming down, a couple of Creep Tumors, and yeah, a couple of Creep Tumors getting cleaned out. And he's still pushing in towards the side here. As you see a couple of Mutas from PandaBearMe coming around the top side as well. Again, you can see them running in towards a Viking here right away. So Viking looking as though it's going to go down very quickly. Now Viking, as it gets popped, well, that works out quite nice. There's going to be seeing another scan in the center, and more Creep Tumors being cleaned out. And we're going to be seeing the left here from some Marines. And there's going to be those units backing away as, again, Lingbane from PandaBearMe pushing in around the front. Actually, you can see these Mutas coming across the map, and just before the turret and a couple of Liberators come into play, he does manage to pick up a few SCV kills. Not many Mutas on the map, 8 more about to join though. As with 2-2 upgrades about to finish for Zerg play as well, he'll actually take an upgrade lead for a little while. And those Queens in the center will be able to help out against those Liberators. Mutas will start to spread out to help fight against them, and don't think he'll lose a single Mutalisk in this fight. 2 Liberators going down, and Smile just losing that for no real reason there, as now, I mean, he's still very much so just pinned into his 3 bases. Not a lot going on at this point. And you're going to see the Mutas starting to jump in towards the main, and already going to see this missile turret going down, and SCV going down as well. And these 2-2 upgrades, I don't think they'll fall. I think they'll be able to stay alive, but Marines coming forwards, and we'll just again force Smile to start responding to this. PandaBearMe will just back away and just wait for another moment or two later to really get this going. There's a few more Mutas still coming on up here. The 2-2 upgrades, as we mentioned before, from either side will be finishing soon. Obviously, PandaBearMe's already finished up. And he's still just got kind of uncontrollable creep spreads. The one thing I wish Smile really had done something about earlier, even just 1 Medivac units to start pushing back the creep. Because with 1 Medivac units, you can always just lift up and back away, but slowing down the creep at all is so essential, because otherwise now you can just see PandaBearMe has complete control of this map. And it's coming over towards the left-hand side. We'll see a few Marines already stimming forwards here. Lingbane going to come through and just get ready to grab a few of those Marines as well. Marines dropping very quickly, and as the wall goes up, we're going to see Banes may just bust on through, and PandaBearMe might just try and make something happen. He's maxed out. He's going to see, well, nice use of the choke point here. Well, there's still a couple of Widow Mines going down. Still spreading out once again, looking to see what else he can do. PandaBearMe wants to make this fight happen. Wants to come in here, wants to fight this as whoa, Widow Mine and 4 shots, getting some good damage onto the mutas. And that's a little bit messy there, as I mean, still so many of these Marines very clumped up. There's not a lot of space to split over here. And that's something which I think is very visible right now. And I feel as though if there's a way to push through this, if you can get rid of either the orbital or the factory to kind of open up the area a little bit more, then suddenly Smile might be in a little bit of trouble, because he's going to be, again, having nowhere to split. He's going to be very clumped up as those Banelings begin to connect. As a few units will take the charge right here. Banes will not quite be able to go off and clean up the Widow Mines before they do connect, as 4s once again damaging those mutas. PandaBearMe still just sitting at the front and continues to mass up Ling Bane muta, as we're going to see a little bit of Ling Bane rolling forwards right away here. But again, that choke point keeping Smile alive. But obviously, if he's just sat back here in a choke point, he isn't really making progress to take a 4th base or anything along those lines. So all PandaBearMe has to do is stay patient, stay in the game, and he should just start out, expand out tech and all the rest of it. Should just kind of outplay Smile basically. So Smile kind of just stuck in. He has to move out at some point, it should be the 10 player applying pressure, but even if he starts to move out, he's got so much creep spread to play against us. Here we go. You're going to see Banes and Ling starting to run forwards right now. Mutas overhead. As we see, the initial Bane hits aren't exactly the best, but now they're going to start connecting on Marines as they can't actually get back through that choke point fast enough. Zerglings and mutas left over. Not many mutas, though. And actually, for the most part, I would say that a lot of the kind of tech-heavy units here for our Zerg player have gone down. As you see, the last few Zerglings still working their way through this, and the last few Marines dropping. Unfortunately, Smile just doesn't quite have enough, and PandaBearMe was just set up into a bit too good of a concave, as now moving in towards the main base. Mutas and Simulings still trying to trade it out. These last few Marines just not going to do too much more, and that is GG right there. PandaBearMe picks up game number 1. Craft shirt I've ever had. It's my 2nd time wearing it. Isn't that crazy? Amazing. Alright, top left hand side from OSC Root, the green Zerg player. Give it up for PandaBearMe. His opponent, bottom right hand side from My Insanity, is Smile. Alright then. I really need to clean my glasses, man. Every single time I open my eyes at the moment, it's like, oh, my glasses are dirty. But they don't look dirty when I take them off. I just realized I have microfiber cloth right here, so I could just clean them properly for once instead of trying to clean them on my shirt and stuff. Because I'm a bit of a lazy guy like that. Sometimes you just gotta clean them on whatever's nearby, Now they look super clean, at least the first lens does. Question is, will it be the same for the second lens? Dun 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 dun. Beautiful. Okay then, so friends. I just about managed to put my glasses back on. Oh my god. So clean. Alright then. Well, that was an exciting first minute and 40 seconds of the game, wasn't it? Yes, I agree. It really was. So as we kick this off properly, let's do this. PandaBearMe with the hatch gas pool. No real surprise there. It's Abyssal Reef. You're not really expecting anything too crazy. Although it is actually quite a good map for kind of Ravager all-ins. If you kind of make a couple of lings first, you can force the Reaper to come back home before he scouts the roaches. And that can hit very powerfully because of it. So, kind of interested to see how this goes. As you see the reactor popping down, factory starting to build, and SCVs just popping out of the command center. But it isn't going to be any sort of Ravager aggression, obviously. It's just looking to be very, very standard. So really, nothing too crazy just yet. As we see the link speed is starting to come on up about 25% of the way done. So it's going to be about 25% of the way done. The reactor coming down on this barracks. And as the reactor comes down, those racks are going to see the factory finishing as well. And we'll just allow Smile to swap on over and start getting some Hellions out here right away once more. The Hellion-based openers are so versatile, obviously. You can go into so many kind of different follow-ups. And that's why they've really taken popularity as of late in comparison to the 2-on-1, which was very popular for a long time. Ziggs got better to deal with that, at dealing with that. People realized, maybe we shouldn't do it as much, and people also just realized that, I mean, the whole reason for 2-1-1 was that it was very safe against a lot of all-ins as well, and it's gone to this phase where, well, just different, it just kind of, you know, it's the meta game, right? It just fell out of the meta because people figured out how to play against it, and the styles the Zergs were playing was not as good to go up against when you open 2-1-1, and all the rest of it as well. So Hellion opens were really kind of back in popularity at the moment, as you just see a couple of Hellions on the way out from Smile, and a Viking building as well out of the starport. Techlat comes down, the barracks right away, so we'll see what that's going to turn into, whether it's going to be a swap onto one of these structures. Obviously the major swap we're looking at is the starport going to the tech lab, or if it's just going to be Stimpack and Smile going in towards Bioplay once again. Either of them a possibility at the moment as we see tech lab finishing, and it looks as though we're probably going to have a lift and a swap, as the starport will take position onto that tech lab. Now without a fusion core building, you're probably expecting here this to be either a Cloak Banshee or a Raven. Either or, both a possibility at this point of time. And it is just going to be the Raven to open up with. So the Raven, a pretty powerful way to get started in the game. The Raven's actually, again, coming into kind of popularity lately. One of the big positives is that you're going to be able to clean out some creep with it without having to use scans. But also just the general harassability with the auto turrets. Going to be so frustrating for PandaBearMe to deal with. So that's something which will be kind of interesting to see developing as well over the next few minutes of the games. So we'll see what this Raven does get put to use for. Feels though one of the weaker parts of Ravens is if someone's trying to all-in you and you build a Raven, it's like, well, now I've got a Raven which doesn't do very much in low numbers. Like, in certain ways it does a lot in low numbers, but in terms of defending a big attack, it's not really going to do the best. You know, an auto turret drops down, well, you see that as the attacker. You just back away until the auto turret times out and it just disappears, then you continue to attack. And this guy, you know, he's invested 100, 200 and a lot of build time into one auto turret which you've just waited to expire, so it's generally worthwhile. We will see a Stimpack follow up though, and so that's important to note because it means that we are going to be seeing a bio-based player rather than mech. So that is something that gets confirmed as we'll see this Raven get in position. The idea will be to just drop a turret here and then back away, sit in this dead airspace, and just keep doing that time after time to pick off as many workers as possible. And this Viking now will pick up its third kill of the game. This Viking not doing too badly for itself, honestly, so far, as and have the Raven still up here, and again, maybe looking to drop down a turret in a moment or so. There it is, drops down, and a little bit of damage being done. One drone dropping, some drones damaged. So things going to start running forwards, but not able to do too much as the turret now disappears. So Bane Nest that's going to be finishing up in a moment or two from PandaBearMe. And the Spire on the way as well, so I mean basically the same as last game. As his lair finishes, he has Bane speed ready to start. His Spire drops down too, and he just continues to tech up as well. Maybe a little bit light on gas. You could really do with a little bit extra so you can start his 2-2 upgrades as well. But pretty, again, similar to the last game so far. And honestly as well, the creep spread's starting to look very similar to the last game as well. Moving forwards uncontested. And obviously a few Hellions have been out and he didn't dive in and lose them this time. So there's something which is kind of added into this, which will help a bit more kind of slowing down creep. But for the most part, this group of Hellions have been over to the left-hand side. And as they've been over to the left-hand side, the creep through the center hasn't been slowed down at all anyways. You'll see the Swap Crawler going to try and relocate slightly to help out against the Raven. Only another 3 workers killed, a little bit of lost mining time too. Second Raven now positioning to the left. And looking to maybe attack up here and see what else it can get done. Hellion's going to be pulling back down towards the bottom right side of the map. So Hellion's going to pull themselves back to see what might be next for themselves, as again a few Zerglings just moving around, seeing where they can get to. Just try to pick up information, of course, try and spot anything moving out onto the map from the Smiles that PandaBearMe can prepare accordingly. He's a little bit supply blocked at the moment with his Spire just finishing up. It's a great time for him to, of course, get in here and start to build some of his Mutalisks. It's a little bit unfortunate that he's supply blocked. I mean, at the end of the day, still going to get in here anyways. 10 workers going down to these auto turrets, and they actually are really starting to kind of add up the amount of damage they're getting done here now. Zerg play down, well, down 10 workers basically, so making 17 more will get back into the groove, but man, he's actually been slowed down quite a lot from the damage he's taken. So far, only 1 unit lost, 1 single Reaper, and he's killed 14 drones, 8 Lings, 4 Overlords, and a Queen. The initial just units to harass with the Ravens, the Viking, have been super useful in these early stages. We're going to be seeing the 2 Medivacs going to pull over to the left-hand side. And Smile going to start applying some pressure of his own right here. Now, that said, Mutas are just about going to run into those medevacs, and oh, he's actually chasing the Ravens. Well, I guess chasing the Raven makes sense too, as the auto turret needs to back away from that one. So he cleans up the Ravens. Actually, no, this one Raven's still alive to the right. And this PandaBearMe is definitely behind, though. I mean, you look as you can see he's behind. He'll be fast on the +2/+2. But man, trailing against Smile at the moment, and obviously this is game 2. He is up by 1, so if he loses this, it's not over for him. He still has extra chances, but PandaBearMe, probably not the player we expect to be behind at this point. That's not to disrespect Smile or anything. It's just PandaBearMe's had much better results and performances lately than Smile has, who... I guess Smile in Copa America did take down Mages. I guess that's something, and maybe I'm counting Smile out a little bit more so than I should. As we can see, Bane's over here, though. Big connections. Meanwhile, Muta's in the main base. Going to start picking up workers. Wall going down to the far right, and Smile is suddenly in disaster mode. 13 workers going down. His wall is going to be making him heavily supply blocked. Pushing forwards with his main army, it just disappears. And Smile has no answer to this. He's going to finally start cleaning out these Mutas, which are going to spend a little bit too long fighting against Marines. Drilling Claws will come down to help those Widowmines burrow quickly. Now, the turret hasn't begun to rebuild in the main, which means that Mutas are still going to get more damage done. 20 workers now killed. A depot building, not quite going to be cancelled there. But that was everything going right for PandaBearMe in a short period of time. First, the drop to the left-hand side. He takes the fight in the center, which is good for him as well. He cleans up the depots, which was supply block. Smile still is supply blocked, by the way. And then, of course, he has the follow-up with the Mutas doing so much damage as well. So, everything in the last few seconds really going PandaBearMe's way. And now he's just going to back away a little bit. And now he'll probably feel a lot more confident to just try and take a larger fight in the near future. 17 Mutas on the map, so he'll pull these Mutas back and regroup with the extra 14 or so, 13 or so. And as they move across the map, PandaBearMe will have a lot to attack with and to harass with and all the rest of it as well. So, setting this up. There's a lot of Marines just going to collect towards the center of the map. I mean, Smile looking for another large attack, but PandaBearMe, I have to feel, is going to be more than ready. And he's very ready for the last fight, and that was when so much other stuff was going on. He was a bit behind. Now he's in a great position. He's already setting up a flank here, or counterattack. Could work both ways. Looks as though for now he's just shutting off reinforcements, which is obviously a great thing to do. Very effective trades. You can see those Widowmines do burrow in again. Widowmines are kind of on drilling claws at the moment as he does blow up the Banes. Let's slow down the counterattack a little bit, but there's actually more links on the right-hand side, so pushing in towards this mineral line. Oh, Widowmines. Actually picking up some big kills at the moment, the Widowmines, but now pushing towards the main army. A lot of those Widowmines have already been set off. This main army has a lot less to worry about. Already a depot up, the high ground goes down. He's going to see a split away. Widowmine again! Picking off a lot of lings trying to jump in towards the main base. And the main army now pushing in towards the natural to push the Mutas back. So much Ling Bane still here as well, though, from PandaBearMe. He'll lead the charge of a little bit. A few Bane lanes. Obviously, he'll try and connect on just what he can. As this is a very clumped up Terran army, and in fact, well, where do you really split to? You kind of don't, but at the same time, the Banes don't quite find a way to connect just yet either. As again, Smile has to be so careful. He just gets blown up on the ramp. PandaBearMe is overrunning him now in towards the third base mineral line, where he's just picking off even more workers. Muta's backing away momentarily as he knows those fours are a large threat. Targets down the missile turrets, so Mutas can continue to jump around the bases, and this is just an absolute disaster at this point. Mutas and Banes keep moving up in towards the natural lings as well. You'll see a few burrowed Banes, nice scan, and Smile realizes what's going on there. You just see that PandaBearMe falling as far back into this natural as possible, so that he can just make the most of these units. Going to try and stick a few lings up to the main base, perhaps deeper raises, however. Meanwhile, the third base does get killed. No lift on that as we see lings still committing in. Again, another burrow. I mean, there's only 2 orbitals, so there's not too many scans available. And there's more and more lings coming across the map. Maybe time to morph in another set of Banelings as well. You're going to be seeing the Mutas, again, blown up a little bit by Widowmine. But a lot of SCVs being picked off as well. And these lings actually jumping in towards the main base and going to try and do a little bit more damage. Mutas are going to come off to the side and start to chase down a few medevacs. So medevacs are going to get chased down here. And I mean, it's just Smile losing even more. Still supply block, 91 over 85. PandaBearMe just looking so solid in this ZvT matchup. And unfortunately for Smile, looks as though he might be making a quick exit from the Underdogs Intercontinental Clash number 2. Still, these Mutilers looking to find openings. Widowmines, definitely scary to fight against. We're going to see PandaBearMe unsure as to whether he actually wants to fight in this position over here or not. Sort of decides not to. He's going to see these units splitting up, coming in from a couple of different angles. Perhaps some units from the top, some from the left-hand side. The Marines will have to split down and to the right, but there's just nowhere to go. GG, and PandaBearMe is going to come second place in this group and advance to the round of 8